Welcome back to another episode of Uncut and Uncensored with Caroline Stanbury. And as you can see, I'm finally home. Wow, what a whirlwind this has been. I think we left in May. We are now in, well, the end of July, beginning of August. Anyway, I've lost track of time. I don't know where I am. And this one is about multitasking as a woman. I have to say, like, since I've got back, it's 4 o'clock and I'm absolutely shattered. This morning, I've argued with Sergio, unpacked yesterday. Half our luggage arrived, half didn't, which is really annoying, especially when I had 9 bags and I sent a lot of it back with luggage first. And as you know, like I had, was filming a TV show, so normally I wouldn't take that many, and you have to have a certain amount of looks and all that rubbish. And ended up anyway costing me a fortune. Customs taking half my husband's father's heart pills out of our luggage. Like the whole thing's just been a shit show. Holding back 3 cases. It took 7 days to get here. Now, when I got home, the garden was half dead because of the heat. All my trees need covering. Just life in a house. If you don't have life in a house for 3 months, it can go, to shit. I've got obviously 3 dogs as well. So I had a new assistant who's moved in while Megan was away, and Megan I don't even know what's going on in my life because Megan ended up in hospital as well with a broken leg or something. So it's been a total shit show. So the one person that doesn't really know how this house runs was running the house. So there's my rant, because I realize how much we have to do. I've got 3 kids in 3 different places. So my daughter called me yesterday from London. She's trying to buy her first car. My other son is currently in Switzerland. And then, he's just left to the UK to see his cousins. And then, because he had such a good time in Switzerland, I now have to get him to Texas somehow, which is 20 hours on a flight. Weirdly, the people he's going to stay with are flying through Istanbul, so he can actually fly with them now. But I mean, my head wants to spin off right now. Then, of course, we've launched the new look, Bust the Label. For most of you that haven't seen it, this is a movement that I am doing, which is like, bust the fucking label of what 40 plus women are meant to be. Like all the labels that we've ever been given in our lives, like chuck them away. We are so much more. So I'm so excited because the new look is the rebrand's finally here. We're going into the vitamin shop. We're going into Whole Foods. We're going into like all these great doors. And we are finally on our way. Plus we have one killer fucking product I cannot wait to share with you. But it's a secret right now. But it's coming any minute. In fact, it's made, but it's coming, and it's going to be life-changing for us all. It's something, as I said, I'm exhausted right now. If you struggle with energy, it just keeps you going all day. And it's all you need in your handbag, ladies, let me tell you. Anyway, I probably will launch it, actually, at BravoCon. Let me see how I do it. But, I mean, we just wear so many hats. Like, my other son, I don't know, called me. He's going to Istanbul to see his father. Like, just the logistics of all of that makes my head want to spin off. Then my other son wants to sit next to his friend. Then, finding our suitcases, getting the products to where they need to go to, thinking about BravoCon, doing this podcast, all the adverts I hadn't done. It's frankly fucking endless. And just saying this to you right now, I want to lie down. And then, I was thinking about it. Like, women are meant to wear all of these hats. Like, we do everything. I came back, and obviously there's no food in the fridge. Like, not enough. My tortoise, I let him out yesterday. He went wander out for like 3 days, 2 days. There is so much to do. There are so many things. Oh, my pool broke. So I had to get them in, replace all the plants, cut all the dead leaves, clean the house because it's covered in dust, obviously. And then I want to do the gym because I haven't actually had a drop of alcohol for probably I guess it's my 3rd week, which is a game changer, ladies. My skin looks amazing. Tomorrow I'm going to Hortman's as well to go and start my whole beauty regime. And I'm going to start it tomorrow because no one's in Dubai and it's so hot that I'm going to do a full body laser. So I'll let you know how that goes and that plays out. And, I wondered to myself, does multitasking make me feel empowered or just like I have to do it all? Like, I don't know how you feel, but I sometimes sit down and I think if I don't do it myself, who the fuck's going to do it? And although obviously Sergio's a huge help and he really is, and I pity anybody that doesn't have somebody, my dog is watching out the door, somebody to do that with them and for them and just run the day. I have a new assistant now who it's like, I really need to sit on. Like, oh God, I hate training people. Like, I have to literally sit on, or it just won't happen, or they don't do it. Like, I mean, I think it's just a different level out here as well of training people. Like, I was cutting the flowers yesterday and then she put them on the dining room table without water. And I'm like, okay, obviously my flowers are going to die in about 3.5 seconds if we don't put water on. And she genuinely said to me that she didn't know that they needed them. And I was like, okay, all right. I mean, I may as well save my breath, because if you don't know flowers need water, where am I going with it from here? And I think, as a woman, we have been taught to juggle everything, that we can do everything. We have babies, we run the business, we run the home, we, hold everything together. Then we have sex with our husbands, and then we go home and look beautiful. Like, I mean, what the actual fuck? Like, right now, I feel like a goblin, not a beauty. I mean, I probably look like one right now because I don't have any makeup on either. But, like, I feel like a fucking goblin. Like, my eyes, I'm so fucking tired. If someone offers me another fucking cup of coffee, I'm going to explode. I don't want a coffee because I'll be climbing on that wall. But I probably need a sleep and some sort of, like, Prozac. Just kidding. But, like, I don't know if you're anything like me. I was doing a coaching call for a girl today, and I literally solved her problems like this, and she was really, really happy, by the way. And I love doing my coaching calls. So for all of you that got them booked with me, amazing. See you there. Really, really enjoy it. But when you're like, you're fully in the call, and then people are texting you, they need an answer, the doorbell goes, and even though there are people in the house, they still need you. And your head is not fully in what it's meant to be in. You're like thinking about things you have to do. The mental load that women carry in general every day, it's about managing everybody's life, your husband's life, your kid's life. Like, I kind of feel like the husband gets the best end of the stick. He goes out of the house and comes back and asks what he wants. Like, it's nuts. Like, I honestly couldn't do this job without Sergio. And at the same time, like, as much as I love him, like, he also doesn't do it like me either. Like, sometimes I'm like, but it's not me. And I have to, like, helicopter myself and go, he's not in my head. He's not in my head. Because sometimes when I'm not doing content the way he wants me to do content, he'll be like, no, I mean, do this or this funny TikTok. And I'm like, well, I'm not in your fucking head. I haven't seen the TikTok. I don't know what you want it to look like. And in his head, he's seen it 6 or 7 times. He knows exactly what I'm meant to be doing, but hasn't relayed it to me. I'm trying to think, well, that's exactly how I am with him, right? So it's giving the people the patience, right? And understanding that you have to learn to delegate. And also everybody has a learning curve. Like, if I think about back to my Megan, like, I mean, she would say, I probably fired her 10 times, and now she's been here over 10 years. So I guess I just have to, like, breathe through it, because normally Megan's here to train somebody. And now that she's not here, I'm doing it, and I've forgotten how tedious it is, and I fucking hate it. And we have to break down that sort of superwoman myth that we have to do everything, because that's what causes burnout. And sometimes, obviously, the great thing about my job is you can do it wherever you are in the world. And people always go, oh, but you're always on holiday. Well, it's not really holiday. It looks like a holiday, and I'm really good at what I do, by the way, which I make it look natural and authentic and happy, which at the time it is. This is driving me nuts because I've come home to real life. But, a lot of those holidays are work, and a lot of those work holidays I work from. And, as long as I have everything with me, where I shoot my content doesn't matter. Like, you're still looking at it. And I told you guys, we post across all platforms about 15 times a day, which is insane. And, it keeps it so that somewhere one of you is looking at me right now on one of those platforms, and keeps me relevant and keeps me, working all the time. And I realize that, we can't I can't do anything halfway. If I'm all or nothing, I've got to do it, right? And this morning I got up, and now I've got into my health kick. I've got to go to the gym, right? So I've managed to do the apps at home now, which is so much easier for me, because the app is just downstairs, and I just get a mat and I can do it, have my coffee, and still shout at people from here. And, sometimes, of course, I feel like I'm pulled in too many directions, and, I snap. Like, I've spent the last 2 days snapping at everybody that comes into my vicinity. And that's just, I think, because there is so much shit to do. And now with the unpacking, stupid things, getting everything to the dry cleaner or the washing. I overloaded the washing machine today, flooded the house. That's great because I put too much soap in because my machine told me my levels were wrong. So I just think it's one of those things that we just absolutely get overloaded with trying to be perfect, and perfect doesn't exist, and we need to understand that. And also watching somebody, because I think because Megan used to watch her do it, it didn't irritate me enough that much. Now I'm watching her learn, I'm irritated as fuck because I'm thinking I could have done it in twice, half the time, and save myself the headache than teaching somebody, right? Like, I mean, I wanted to come home and find stockpiles of washing powders, and everything was done and my fridge was full, and that just didn't happen. And I just realized, I guess I'm expecting too much, but at the same time, if you don't multitask, you will explode. You can't do everything and be everything to everyone. You have to let it go. And I'm sure many mothers feel like this, and many people feel like this in the workforce, not to mention my retreats and all of you guys out there, because I don't want to let anyone down. Like, I don't like moving my coaching calls or, not fulfilling them when I say I'm going to do. I've got 3 calls after this, and that takes a lot out of you, by the way. I'm still doing Bali. I've got, a call on Bali from somebody that wants to build a spa on it. I've got another call for somebody that wants to do a home on it. So it's just full on. And I have to learn, I guess, better on how to say no, or how to delegate and just let people do it. And then if they fuck up, they fuck up, and then you catch it at the end. But, I find it so hard to do because I've run so many people for so long that I find it incredibly hard to watch people go, oh, what do I do with this? Like, what do you mean, what do I do with this? And if you've got 1 minute, go and ask what to do next. That would be nice. Why don't you ask what has happened to the way we were all brought up? Like, I love to be busy. And then I was thinking about it. Is it because it's my business? And maybe it is, right? Maybe it is. And maybe just people don't want to work that hard for anybody else, which I kind of understand too. But then start your own business. Then don't work for me. Work for somebody else. Work for yourselves. Take time in your own stuff. Like, if it was you doing it for you, trust me, you'd move a little bit faster. Like, it's this whole sort of like amble. Oh, chit chat. Like, just fucking move. And, just because you're tired and you're not doing everything that you set out to do doesn't mean you're failing. It means, there's just, you can't do it all. You need to prioritize. You need to set tasks, and that's easier to do if you just put a task in for the day. So I try and set the tasks for myself, my husband. Like, after this, I know I've got to do all the adverts, right? So I'll have done the podcast, I've done the adverts, and I've got a call with America for my surgeons, and I've got another call for, as I said, for the Bali land. And then, so I'm setting the tasks, I'm taking them off, and then I'll be in bed by about 8 o'clock tonight because, again, shattered. And tomorrow will be a hugely long day because I've just finished my DIFC, which is an apartment here, which is my second one going on the market, and I've got 2 more to do now. And all the furniture went in today, so I'm super excited to see what that looks like and go and check on everything. And then, I'm redoing the front of my house at the moment because it's not quite finished. So it's just constantly moving. So I need to teach myself just to take a step back and take breaks. Otherwise, again, I went upstairs just before I did this, especially doing a podcast. It takes so much out of you. And, I need to sit and gather my thoughts and, create the podcast in my head, but also not be tired, even though I'm tired and I'm grumpy. And then I'm thinking, also I don't know if I've told all of you this, but I will be moving, hosting my podcast on another platform. So I'm looking at the moment on how to rebrand and what I want this to look like going forward. And actually, you guys, you can always put in the comments because I love hearing from you. And I know that my podcast is one of your favorite things. And, obviously, I'm really excited to take this forward in a new direction. Hi everyone, don't forget to sign up November 9th to the 12th in the Maldives for the most incredible women's retreat. Can't wait to meet you all. 800 of you have signed up and there's only 3 spots left. So please click the link to avoid any disappointment. I can't wait. We're gonna have the trip of a lifetime. I'm bringing a surprise guest with me, so click the link. See you there. And, I was thinking about going back to Divorced Not Dead because at the same point, but I am not divorced anymore and I'm definitely not dead. So I was thinking of making it further, going further forward. But, the one thing is, the way and the growth of my life, I want people out there to feel it the same way I do, I think. And I got this really nice message yesterday from one of the girls that came to my retreat, actually, Kelly, you know who you are, just to say that, she said your energy is electric and being around you. And I can't wait and to see you again. She wanted to come to my other retreat and sadly could not. I think she's had her baby or having a baby. No, she's had the baby. But that was so nice to hear. And then the woman that I was coaching today, was just looking for, even though she had all the answers, just a little push to start her own business and just to know it was okay and that she was going to be okay. And she walked away so happy too. And I really feel like, even though I'm ranting and, having one of those days where everything is just exhausting, I really feel and understand how much the podcast and what I'm saying helps people, because I think it gives you permission to not be selfish, but to think for yourself and to say, okay, it's time for me now, right? I think so many women, like I've just posted this really funny meme about, how my kids, especially boys, they want you to stay home, but you need to stay out the way. If they would like to decide, they need you there all the time, but they'll let you know if they're going out, and they'll let you know 10 minutes before they're going out, and then you can make your plans. And then if you're not in the 2 rooms that they need you to be in, you must have died. They like to sit outside your shower or your loo at all times to talk to you because you can't run. They ask you the same question over and over and over again, so that you are actually exhausted and have to say yes. And boys, if you're listening to me, this is no lie and you know it. And they are, at the same time, they never pick up the phone. Yet if I don't pick up the phone in half a ring, then I'm the worst mother in the world. And that in itself, 3 of those, 3 people that need your attention like that in such different ways. Like my daughter called me from the car showroom yesterday, and some guy in wherever she was buying was being a complete knob, just because I wasn't there. And, but anyway, you have to be readily available to everyone, but you have to work. You have to always look good, but you can't see the in-between. So tomorrow when I have my, now no one's in Dubai, so I'm going to go and do all these lasers, and I'll probably have about 2 weeks of downtime where I look like I've been like roasted on a barbecue, but thank God no one's going to see me. Then I'm thinking, did I come back to Dubai too early because no one's here, and what am I going to do here, and no one's here? But actually this is quite nice. But then I'm in the house and I want peace, but I don't really have peace because the door is going like lunatics because I'm trying to get everything done at once. So it's that age-old question of like, how far or how much in a day do you want to achieve? Because I like to achieve quite a lot, and I'm on speed, I think, like the way my brain works. My brain works in so many different ways, and I want everyone's brain to work in this many different ways. And then I realize that most people aren't programmed like that. And that I have to be kinder to people who are learning, but the frustration kicks in because how the fuck do I do it? I know plenty of women in these kind of roles that actually, I think I was just in Ithaca. Anyway, on the boat as I was getting off, next to me was Emma O'Grady. I really wanted to say hi, didn't say hi. Should have said hi, but anyway. Because I really admire that woman's work ethic. And she, to me, is someone who's, when I hear her speak, she sounds like me. She says all the shit that no one's says, like she says, I'm not driving my kids to school. Why the fuck would I do that? I've got other people to do that. My time is better spent doing these things so that I can make the money. And like, if I'm freed up and relaxed, I can make money and everyone else can run, right? What I hate is lazy people around me that I'm making the money for and paying for. And they are literally like, what do I have to do next? Or even not even that. They just sit there because I didn't have anything to do. Like, no, do you see me wandering around like a lunatic? Then, help. And I think she's got that. Like, I find it really hard. I've never volunteered at school too. I think I did it once. And then I was like, okay, this just isn't for me. I'm working. I am so busy working. This just did not happen on its own. It doesn't, and I want people to know that. I know you all think that I was born with this silver spoon, and at some stages I was, obviously. But, life happens. And, you know, it's not enough unless you're sitting on some giant inheritance just to sit there and expect life to happen. And, you know, you have to work for it today. And there is always going to be growth spurts. And I've changed 1,000,001 times. In fact, I just read this thing with Lauren Sanchez, who I also kind of love. I don't know why, I just think she's fabulous. And, you know, she was saying she's not the same person as 5 years ago. Well, how can you be? Well, I hope not. Like, if my friends are still staying in the same place, sadly, you won't be my friends for much longer because, you know, everybody has to grow and evolve. And I think that that's so many times, you know, people see that as ambitious and, you know, and what do you call it? Like too much in a woman. Yet men, you know, men couldn't handle half the stuff we do in a day. Half, if you give the man the baby for the whole fucking day and just tell him to do his one job on top of it, he wouldn't survive. If you literally said, take the child to work for the entire day without a secretary and do your job, he couldn't do it. Whereas we're meant to do that and do the cooking, the cleaning, the jobs, or if you're not doing that, at least manage them, everybody that's doing it. And it's not even easy just to like, you can't just say to somebody, here, clean the house. You have to explain it to them, show them the products, buy the products, do all this. There's so much goes into it that people don't think about. It sounds amazing and easy, but it's not, you know, and doing all of this, like just putting up the cameras and then pointing it at me and going, oh, well, you have to do is speak. Well, it doesn't really work like that. It's quite draining. There's a lot to think about. I can't stop because my editors don't like editing, apparently. So, you know, it is just, you have to just speak. It's quite a talent to just speak for this long and not breathe, you know, and all of these things and not run off direction. And I, you know, sometimes I don't even know what I'm speaking about anymore. And then, you know, I think I've been doing my peptides. As I said, I'm on a complete health kick right now, and you're going to watch my body change. In fact, I think it's the best it's ever looked. My husband says I'm too skinny. I think I look amazing. This is where I want to remain. But, you know, it takes work. Like, I'm doing these apps. It's really, really helped me. In fact, I find it easier than going to the gym because you only need a mat and a dumbbell and 20 minutes in the house. So I can do that from anywhere, have my coffee, as I said, and annoy people at the same time that I'm doing my things. Or I should have done it earlier than this morning, to be honest. It was too hot outside. It's boiling. But, you know, again, that's a bit of a game changer because I was driving to the gym. No one's here right now. So again, I can get so much more done in a day. I thrive on getting everything done today. I've been to the supermarket. I've done my hair. I've redone my nails. I look at the creams I'm using. I look at how to condition my hair, get myself into a good position that, you know, everything still looks good. I feel good. Everyone in this house is fed. My children are organized and everybody's semi-happy. And, you know, I feel that's quite an accomplishment, really, because, you know, it takes a lot. It doesn't just happen. You know, there is, and just all the things that also the dogs need feeding, walking, grooming, just so many. My tortoise, I've got a tortoise. Like, ladies, you know what goes on. Like, I'm so proud of all you women that are out there doing it. And I know it's hard to see, like, that so many times we're undervalued. And, you know, so many women that I'm watching sitting at home right now have jobs and now side hustles to make it work because the world's become such a weird place and it's so hard to make money today for people. I mean, obviously, I've just been in south of France, so I've realized there's a fuck of a lot of rich people out there, really rich people, but there are also a lot of people that are, you know, hustling every day to make it work. And I want to say, like, I understand what goes into the grind. And, you know, I want to say chapeau to you. Don't give up, because this is actually weirdly the most enjoyable part of your life. Like, I mean, I think that some of the richest people I know are some of the most bored people I know, and would give anything to go back to, like, needing to hustle, to wanting to hustle, to feeling the hustle, right? To just other than just like paying the bills and sitting pretty in their houses and going, what now, what? You know, because it's not fulfilling and the summer's going to end and then what are you going to do, right? So, you know, just know that this phase may be the best phase. It really may be the best phase and you just don't realize it yet. And be careful what you wish for, because I always say you may just get it, ladies. And with that, I would say to all of you multitasking bad bitches out there, well done. Second of all, like, anyone want to join us? We have 5 spots on the retreat left in the Maldives. I know it's far, but the whole point is to cut off from the world, to regroup, to breathe, to make new friends, to make connections, get business ideas, and to, become part of a bigger community of powerful women. Look, I want all of you ladies to let me know some of your funniest multitasking stories and, what you find madness in life. And, how many things you hold down, because I think we're not recognized enough for just everything. Like you're on the phone and you're like getting phone calls from, builders of food, your kids at school, the teachers. Oh my God, the letters from schools. Someone explained to me how we pay this much money for a school, and then you get a letter every week saying, mine's like, it's like they're on crack sometimes, because I get a letter going, oh, your son is amazing. And then the next day, oh, your son is terrible. Oh, and the next day. And I'm like, oh my God, just let me know at the end of the year or at half term or whenever. Let me know how he's behaving, because I don't need to know daily, because I've given him to you. Unless there's something really serious, don't call me. And, we're all at work as well. And it's sort of every phone call takes your mind off what you're focused on. And then it's hard to go back. Then, again, I want to be this healthy newborn person that I was laughing. I don't know what it was on TikTok. And I watched this man just say, gone are the days, it used to be we got home at 6 a.m. and like sometimes without a shirt. We didn't even know why. And now we are meant to be up at 5 a.m. going to meetings, drinking lattes and in the gym and having the best bodies we've ever had in our entire lives at 50. And it made me howl, because it's so true. It's so fucking true. Like, and we're all manifesting the shit out of life. And again, like I'm trying to tell you, manifesting isn't a magic wand. Like it isn't. Not to say I don't believe, and I want to believe, and all of us should believe. I believe in the law of attraction. I do believe if you put out a shitty energy, you're going to get shitty things back. Nothing good will come to you. And I do believe that, you can manifest certain things in your life, because I've certainly done all of that, everything I've wanted. But what does manifesting look like to me? It's like the steps to the things I want. So that's where the vision board has always come in. And like the girl that I was coaching today as well, I said to her, look, just write down the pathway. And, the vision board is the pathway. And looking at that and sometimes seeing it visually helps these things come true, and just reminds me of what you need, or reminds you of what you need to achieve and how far you've come. Because she said something quite interesting to me too, that we may have, because we're so hard on ourselves and we want so much. We want to be beautiful. We want to be successful. We want to be, the best lovers. We want to be best friends, all of these things. We don't see how far we've already come. We're already in that mode of like, it's not enough. I need more. I have a successful job. Last year I made 100,000. This year, maybe I made 300,000, but that's not enough, because, and last year you would have been over the moon with a 300,000. This year you're like, it's not enough. So, sometimes you need to go, wow, I doubled what I made. I'm so proud of myself. Well done, me. And I think we all forget to do that. So if you have done that and you've improved your lifestyle in any which way from the last year, pat yourself in the back, because it's easy not to, by the way. It's easy to stay exactly where you are, stagnant in your corporate job with your salary, and not take any risk and not change anything in your life with the same car, the same house, the same this. And I'm not meaning just materialistic things, but just improve your life in any which way you want. I always said, and I said this to her, the most important thing is if you make yourself and you say she did double her money this year, or you double your money this year, you should pay yourself a dividend from that, a percentage of it that you can go and do what you want with it, so that inspires you. Just as I did the podcast before on how I, incentivize my staff, I have to incentivize myself. There's no point incentivizing everyone around me and then, I'm not incentivized. Like, I've got to be incentivized. So that's what I do. Like, I look for something that I want to improve or buy, some maybe barley right now, because but those things are my incentives to work harder. And, I even said to my husband, because he's the worst, he doesn't like spending on himself at all. But I'm like, if you don't incentivize yourself with something that you want, then how do you get inspired to do it? I don't know. I mean, maybe he is, because barley's so much what he wants, but I still need those treats. I mean, having said that, he loves to travel, and that is one major fucking expense, like major. I'd love to know what we spend in a year on flights. Actually, I wouldn't love to know. Don't tell me, anybody. But all of these things are so important. for you to become the best at what you are. Because, when you map it out like that, you see how your life improved, you see the new blessings you're getting. That's when the game of life really starts, right? That's when all the magic happens. That's the sweet spot. That's when all the doors start to open and energy flows and you feel great about yourself. And, you don't have to push the doors open, they just swing open for you. And I'm finding that that's beginning to happen. And I think, the more relaxed you are, the more people see it. The more, and I think that's the one thing I get a lot. I was in Central Pay, and actually I was surprised by how many people came up and gave us so much love in Europe, of all places, really everywhere, just saying how much they love us and how fabulous, because they see the lifestyle and how we worked for it, and they see the fun we have while we're at it. And I think people have forgotten to connect with other people. I think people have forgotten the art of laughter. Yes, you can laugh and get pissed and drunk and just, fuck about. But I mean, working and laughing and building a team and having a culture and doing the things we enjoy. Like, as I said, I'm building or trying to build right now an ecosystem of women, which is, when you're all looking at what Bust the Label means, the retreats are part of Bust the Label. It is literally going, what have us women been told? At 40 you're too old over the hill. Wrinkles aren't sexy. Gray hair, your gray hair is going to happen to us all of these things, and it's just not true. And so, Bust the Label is about cutting up the labels that us women have been labeled with for far too fucking long, and cutting them up and rewriting the book. And I think we're all on that path right now, and many of us are doing it. And then, I mentioned Lauren Sanchez, and there she is, right? I mean, why does she inspire me? Well, let me tell you one thing. That woman is married, and she married well. And she's married her best friends. And not only that, she's 55 years old. Jeff Bezos could have married anyone. Let's face it, he could have had a 20-year-old model. And he chose her for whatever reason. I don't know her. I've never met her. I'm sure she's an amazing person. But what a woman. Find me another 55-year-old woman right now marrying a billionaire. Find me one. Nobody gets divorced to marry a 55-year-old. That's amazing. So she's well kept. Whatever she's doing, she's fun, she's laughing, her body is insane. Any 20-year-old would be fine with that body. She's dressing well, she's holding it together. Love her or hate her, you don't have to like her, but you've got to respect her. Sorry, you've got to respect it. And that was the same for me. I mean, love me or hate me, I'm also doing it. What 49-year-old woman is married to a 30-year-old since he was 24 still? Not many of us, okay? And I'm doing it and holding my looks and holding my kids and holding my businesses, and I haven't gone mad yet. I mean, okay, my memory's not great, as I know, and I've just downloaded an app for that, and I'm going to go back to school for more of my vocabulary again, because I don't know what's happened to me, but my memory is I'm sticking to the lion's mane. I've just made one for my memory and focus, and I've been away, so I've got to get back on that. So Bust the Label, memory and focus, bust my memory, get back. I'm going to go and take those today and start again. It's a game changer, ladies. There are so many things we have to do. I need to get back onto my hormones, my testosterone, my estrogen, and get myself back into whack. And that's the one thing, sadly, traveling doesn't do, is you just get so out of whack with everything. But, look, we're living longer. We're looking better. We are fucking fabulous in our 40s and 50s. And, life is just beginning. What can I say? And I'm excited for it. I love you all. Please press subscribe and leave any notes in the comments. Thank you for listening to Uncut and Uncensored with Caroline Stanbury.